Well, thanks everyone for being here. This is Origin Community Call. We had a pretty exciting, well orchestrated Twitter Spaces last Thursday. Thanks to John on our team for organizing that and leading the discussion, and thanks, of course, to Josh for being there to answer all of John's questions and any that came from the community. That was, I think, a really great use of time. It was wonderful getting a refresher on a lot of the basic questions a lot of people have about OUSD, OGV, all our different tokens, and what's coming for all of our different products. So look forward to more AMAs, interviews, those sorts of things as we ramp up marketing for everything that we're doing. And today we'll have a fairly typical agenda, talk a lot about what's happening with OUSD and go through some engineering priorities. And then we'll have a few minutes for an update on Origin Story, if there's anything there. First, I think we will cover a few announcements. Think about whether if you can think of anything that we need to flag. But the announcements that we had on the list were that we have 3 new people that have joined the team in various capacities. So first one is Zach, Zach.eth, who's here on the call with us. We met him last week during the community call, and he has since joined the sort of extended engineering team. He's going to be working with us on some Solidity and backend related issues for OUSD and OGV. Zach, you're welcome to jump in if there's anything that you wanted to say. But it's great having you here. We're looking forward to working together.
Very excited to be here. Thank you very much. I think you saw I'm pretty deep in the DeFi space, and like Maker and Comp, and I'm very excited about what you guys are doing. I really enjoyed meeting the team so far, and looking forward to working with you guys. So thank you for having me.
Of course, good deal. And Daniel, you guys had a chance to connect, or you will later today?
Yep, I'm set paying anyway.
All right, good deal. All right, other people that have joined the team, we have Peter, who is newest member of the OUSD Business Development Team. Peter was here last week. I think his first day was on Monday, but I don't think you've introduced yourself yet, have you, Peter?
No, I don't think so. So I'll just do that now real quick. Hey everyone, I'm Peter. This is my second week with Origin, but I'll be helping the Origin business development team with getting the core Origin tokens supported on different platforms and listed on exchanges, as well as helping that team raise the TVL of OUSD. I'm always happy to chat, so feel free to reach out to me. My email is just peter@originprotocol.com.
Amazing. It's been great having you here the last week. Looking forward to many more to come. Last person I wanted to recognize having recently joined the team is Jeremy Guzman. I don't know if Jeremy's ever introduced himself before. I didn't see it in the notes, but of course he's been one of our active community members for quite a while, and he's going to be helping us out for a little while on some of those token wallet list integrations, some stuff on community management, a little bit of everything, and he's made some great contributions already. Jeremy, did you want to say hi?
Yeah, just super pumped to be here. Been around for a little bit, just lurking in the community, but just happy to be a part of the team and happy to expand OUSD, wrap OUSD, and whatever else on the community management side on that standpoint. Just make the protocol scale. So thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Well, likewise, you've made some great contributions already, and we're looking forward to more. Thanks for being here. We'll have some time a little bit later, maybe around the end of the call. If anyone else wants to introduce themselves, let us know how you found us, what you're working on, what you're excited about. That would be cool. But we'll come back to that a little bit later. I don't have any other specific community contributions to recognize, kind of a long list of things that Roland has been doing on the engineering side, as well as Jeremy and others. but we'll come back to that next week if there's anything to single out. But thanks to everyone who's contributed in various ways. Let's get into some OUSD topics. I think we'll start with, we don't need to go through every different wallet or list integration that we're working on, but I did want to highlight some areas where we're having success there. So it'd be great to have Jeremy and/or Peter jump in here, but I'll mention a couple of things. One is that MetaMask has merged our pull request that Roland submitted to get OGV and VE OGV added to their token whitelist. We have to wait for a new release, and the pull request has been merged. We have to wait for a new release to happen. So I'll follow up with Andra to see if we can find out when that might happen. Hopefully it'll be pretty soon. I think they're due for a new release, but we definitely want to push that one forward. That one's the most important one, and we had to wait until we had a certain level of adoption of the tokens to be able to get MetaMask to do that. Maybe Jeremy, if you want to go next, you want to highlight any other integrations that have happened over the past week?
Absolutely. So one we could tackle off the bat is Sablier. So this one I personally was really excited to get up and running. This one basically enables wrapped OUSD and OGV to become streamable assets on Ethereum, which I think it's a really interesting use case for wrapped OUSD aside from the yield bearing characteristic. So really cool stuff. And also, again, OGV, we could stream OGV on there as well. A bunch of other integrations on token lists, for instance. We have now DappRadar supporting OGV, so that's great.
You got Engine and Coin98 and Atomic Wallet, I see in the notes.
Yeah, exactly. The rest are pending as of right now, but I'm anticipating that by the end of the week, we should clear things up and have a bunch of these confirmed. So aside from that, really exciting week last week, and hope we could maintain momentum going into this week.
Totally. Peter, did you have any to add? I know you're working on several different relationships.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple of small updates that I can provide. Nansen finally was able to add wrapped OUSD and VE OGV, so that was good. I got the ball rolling on Ledger, but they usually do new coins I think on a monthly basis. So maybe at the end of this month or the end of next month we might see those. They're a little bit slow with that, but I did get it across the line, which is good. And then CoinMarketCap confirmed that they'll be updating the circulating supply of OGV, so that's good. That's all.
Cool. There were a couple that are blocked, and I just wanted to highlight those real quickly in case someone here knows of a way that we can unblock them. Specifically, Trust Wallet requires a significant amount of usage, and then I think they also might try to get you to pay for a token to get whitelisted. We've worked around this a little bit in the past, but I just wanted to flag that. We can talk about it outside this call if we need to. And then Rainbow Wallet, they have since stopped maintaining their own list, and they are depending on I think CoinGecko and either Zarin or Zapper upstream. So we shouldn't have any problem getting support there. We just need to wait for some of the things to happen with those other platforms. And I don't remember what the deal was with Furu Combo, but we can come back to that and talk about it in another meeting that's specific to this project if you guys want. Thanks again, Jeremy and Peter, for helping us make a lot of progress on this. It's something we've been working on for quite a while, and it was pretty slow going. So thanks a lot. Tom, are you here? Did you want to do a demo of the staking improvements that you've been working on?
Yeah, sure.
Take it away. I think everybody will have to click watch stream. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, cool. So obviously when we launched OGV, we spent a lot of time on the claim experience itself. And then the post-claiming staking experience was a little bit more simple. And we had a few more things that we needed to add to that. So yeah, Mike has been going down a priority list of product improvements for this side of the staking part of the DApp. So in the last week, we've started working on those improvements, and these are namely on this screen. So we wanted to highlight, how much, there's a lot of OGV currently staked, a lot of the what's out there. So we wanted to highlight that and put that in a clear CTA. And we also wanted to further pick out the variable API as well. We've got it quite small up here in the nav, which is on every part of the DApp, but we wanted it to be front and center when you come to the staking page itself to encourage people to stake. And we also wanted to start displaying the accrued rewards. So in the first iteration of this page, we didn't have any accrued rewards showing. So what we did is we added this in here alongside the vote balance, which lines up nicely as a 4-panel kind of thing. And we've also added to the UI this collect rewards button as well, which will call a contract and collect the balance of the rewards that you've accrued right away. And yeah, I think we did a couple of changes on the extend as well. So if you've got a stake already active, you can extend that. So we've got that functionality built into the smart contracts. So you can extend here. And then what we've done is we've borrowed a lot of the additional UI things that we added to the claiming experience and put those into here. So that, when you want to extend your lockup, you can see how that would affect the variable APY as well before you actually commit to extend. So yeah, that's what we've been working on in the past week on improving the staking. Back to you, Micah.
Good, sweet, Tom.
Cool.
Thanks, Mark. Anybody have any questions or comments? Yeah, Daniel?
Yeah, that number, the percentage staked, that's percentage of the OUGV total supply. So that actually is counting all OGV that's not been airdropped yet as unstaked. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's the total supply.
Yeah, cool. So the actual reality is that there's of the claimed OGV, more has been staked than that, or if we don't count stuff that hasn't been claimed yet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Any other questions or suggestions? I think there are, some small things that we still want to do here to continue to iterate on it, but this is a really big step in the right direction. I'll continue to make some notes and potentially file some issues. But thanks so much to Tom for making that a priority and bringing it to this point.
No worries.
There's one thing that I wanted to talk about real quickly. We've got a couple issues open in reference to rewards being automatically collected when the user creates a new stake or extends an existing one or something along those lines. Thanks, Daniel, for answering our questions about why that's the case. It sounds like that's standard behavior for the Master Chef contracts. I probably shouldn't assume, but I get the impression that we don't want to rush into making those changes to the contracts until we, have a lot more conviction that we want to depart from the typical behavior, and it would probably also result in needing a new audit or at least very careful internal review of those changes if we were to do it. Do I have the right impression, Daniel?
Yeah, it's not something terribly hard. I just want to make very sure that we do it and not just kind of a whim thing.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, you have the right impression.
Okay. Tom, how do you feel about maybe trying some UX improvements to forecast what's going to happen when the user goes through these transactions, and then maybe seeing what kind of feedback we get from users after we do that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that'd be a lot easier than changing the contracts. If we try to explain preemptively what's going to happen and walk people through that, that'll be an easier route forward. I mean, I still don't think it's an ideal user experience, but obviously it would be less intensive on the engineering side to try and do that.
There's a preview rewards method on the contract that will show you how much they'll get if they do anything right at that time. So that way you don't have to calculate it, it'll automatically tell you exactly what's going to happen there.
Yeah, no, that'll be useful. I mean, we can talk about this offline, Micah, and think about how it would look on the front end.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. And just out of curiosity, Daniel, that preview rewards, is that different from the number we're showing in the accrued rewards?
No, it shouldn't be.
Oh, okay. All right. Just want to make sure there weren't two different concepts there.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Let's work on that, Tom. I'll think about it. Maybe write something up tonight while you're away. But yeah, we're definitely going in the right direction there. It's just as a user, I was alarmed and confused on several occasions going through it. So maybe if we just explain what's going to happen before it happens, that'll help. Okay.
Sure.
Let's talk about sprint priorities for a minute, if you guys don't mind. We went through sort of in detail what the near-term priorities were as of last week. We don't need to recap all of those, but I thought it would be good to confirm like what exactly the goal is for this sprint on several of these themes, because some of them are a little unclear. And if we could, set some milestones or deadlines or something to shoot for, that would probably help us get some things done. So we just talked a lot about the non-claim staking experience. I think we've made a lot of progress there. We'll work on speccing and maybe trying to roll out some of these other UX tweaks. I don't think any of those are critical for an end of sprint, but we'll probably slip them in. Let me know if there's anything else that we should try to accomplish in the next week and a half there. But I think we're in decent shape. As far as integrations and listings are concerned, there's nothing, no immediate action items there for engineers specifically, I don't think, except for, Jeremy, what did we just conclude a few minutes ago that Roland could help with?
I'll tell you right now. I think all we need. Having some hard time over here with my.
Was it Zapper or was it something else that we shifted over to?
Both. It was for Zapper and Studio. I believe
Yeah.
Mike will be tackling that, or at least to my knowledge. And then for DApp Radar is to get OGV whitelisted on DApp Radar. So I
Okay.
sent over the GitHub link, I believe, in the OUSD discussion channel.
That was it. You're right. Okay. So maybe the immediate priorities for Roland or for engineering is to submit whatever we need to DApp Radar and Zapper. Okay. I'll put that on the list. That should be easy to get done in the next week. That brings us to the next theme, which is governance and value accrual. This is sort of two separate things. One is to get the front end experience ready for on-chain governance at governance.ousd.com. Right now, we're hiding all of that in production, and I just need to go through and do sort of a UX audit and take inventory of what features are missing or what UX improvements we need to make before we go live in production with all of that. I did not get to that last week, but I will make that my priority today. And hope to have a loose spec maybe tomorrow. And Tom, is that maybe the next thing you would work on, or do you have something else on your plate next?
Yeah, definitely something that I'll be working on in the near term. I'm just looking at the login parity issue as well with Roland, because I think that's pretty important. And we've had people directly ask for my Etherwallet support. So I've kind of like bumped that up my list. But yeah, after that, then certainly if you can get that spec over to me, I'll jump in.
Sounds good. So maybe the goal is to have, in the staging environment, have the front end experience ready by the end of the sprint so that when we hand over ownership of the contracts, then we're good to go. How's that sound?
Yeah, should be doable.
Daniel, were you going to add anything?
Negative.
I suppose it probably depends on the scope of what requests I have, but I'll try to keep it to. I'll try to start with prioritizing the critical stuff. Okay, then the other thing to do on governance and value accrual. Well, I guess we have to do the contract level handoff. I think there was some testing that you were planning to do, Daniel. Have you
Yeah,
started
so I
on-
guess, no, so I think we're in place that I should go ahead and do that. I
Okay.
just dropped that off my radar, so yeah.
All right. What kind of goal or deadline should we have for being ready to do the handoff? Would that just be end of the sprint, a little over a week?
Yeah.
All right. That sounds good. And then the other thing about value accrual specifically is that we have this task we talked about last week where we need to deploy a new buyback contract to be able to use the OUSD fees that are generated by the protocol as it grows, use those to buy OGV off the open market, and then make it available for stakers to claim. It contributes to that 130 something percent APY that we currently have for stakers. So I think this is a project that Zach is going to work on. Is that right, Zach? Have you had a chance to look at this at all?
Frank just gave me the assignment, so I was just starting to look it over. So, but yeah, no, sounds good.
Okay. I think that's something that you and Daniel will be talking about. Get a lay of the land of the code base.
Sounds message. We'll meet with him, go over the code base, and get going. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Maybe one request would be after you get a chance to wrap your head around it, if you could give some sort of estimate as to when you think you might, reach a stopping point, have it ready for review. That'd be a good place to start. But anyway, we can circle back on that after you've had a chance to understand the scope.
Sounds good.
All right. Yep. Thanks. That brings us to marketing and documentation improvements. Thanks to Daniel for adding VEOGV explainer to the docs. I will go and review that and see what else I think we might be able to add, if anything. And then on the marketing side, we have all of our various properties like originprotocol.com, story.xyz, OUSD.com, where we need to update those to be more accurate and relevant to what we're doing these days. Matt is going to do a first pass on some copy and content suggestions there, and then we're going to have Ari, our trusty product designer, work on updating the visual design there, and then we'll hand that off to engineering in the coming weeks. Matt, I have you server muted, so I'm going to undo that and then ask if do you have like a timeline for when you might have the content ready, or is it already ready for a review?
It looks like Matt is occupied or something. I will jump in right there. Matt has a first cut of some of the content there. The focus actually is on originprotocol.com as well as story.xyz. And then OUSD will be coming after that. But I've seen a first cut and it looks beautiful.
Wonderful. Thanks, Linus. Two other priorities that we talked about last week. One, shoring up the OUSD APY. This is a big ongoing project for us. But I was curious, Daniel, I saw your comments on one of the potential strategies we might use. Did you have a chance to dig into the other two or not yet?
I hadn't realized I had not, so I'll take a look. But probably the strategy that I'm most excited about is Euler Finance. That could be an almost drop-in replacement for what we've got, and a little bit better APY on that.
That was Euler?
Yeah. Yeah, although it looks like their APYs have gone down since I last saw. So we'll have to dig harder then.
Yeah. Josh?
Yeah, I was just going to say I dug in a little bit into Morpho on Friday and was pretty impressed just at first glance at how well documented their stuff is. It's quite easy to understand what we're doing. And they've gotten pretty good audits from people like Philip Bitts, which gives me decent confidence that they know what we're doing. So I think that's also an interesting one for us to take a peek at.
That's the one I meant to say.
Okay. I will, I'll try to catch up to you guys on those. I haven't had a chance to review Morpho in particular. I know I said I would do that, but hasn't made it to the top of the list. Josh, I don't know if you've seen the doc where I tried to briefly summarize what we were looking at. Let me put that in the OUSD discussion channel right now. Actually, no, we have our side chat here. How do I do that? Hang on just a second. Side chat. All right, there you go. Feel free to jump in there and add to what we've got or leave comments. But basically, these various potential strategies we've been looking at, none of them thus far look like something we should jump on immediately. But we want to understand each of them more and keep an eye on how the potential returns are performing. Okay, so I guess just to recap, I don't know that do we have a specific goal for this sprint to make a decision on one of these potential strategies? We're definitely not going to implement any of them in the next week and a half.
I think it'd be great if we can get a first analysis done on like security and whether we feel like the potential gains there are worth the added risk and effort.
To me, it seems less work to evaluate the economic side and then move to the security side on the ones that pass the economic test, since we'll need both.
Yep. Yeah, I think for Morpho, there's definitely economic gains. I am not sure how they perform at when everyone starts using them. I think you end up in a similar place to what we have with Compound, but in the near term, they're definitely doing a better job at returning higher APYs than Compound are. And then the question to me is more just, is that worth the smart contract risk that we're taking on to get that small gain? Then again, we're in a bear market, so we're taking kind of all the crumbs we can get when it comes to APY.
Let me catch up to you guys on Morpho maybe tomorrow. I don't think I'll get to it today. And then let Daniel know or let everybody know what my thoughts are. And then anybody else who wants to take a look at it too. The more review, more opinions, the better. So let's have a tentative goal then for end of sprint. 8-9 days from now. Let's have the goal of like making a decision on which of these four we're going to pursue, if any of them. How's that sound?
Yep.
Cool. All right, then the last thing, which is sort of a competing priority for Daniel, I believe, which is the rollout of the, how would you describe this, OIP4, Daniel?
That's the peg. We don't allow mints of coins that have even a slight peg loss, mints of OUSD using that. And that should be one day to do that deploy, but we just bumped it from other things I was planning on doing last week. But it's still very close to the top of my priority list. So hopefully this week.
Okay. Just to kind of summarize for you, Daniel, I think this is lower priority than testing the governance ecosystem. Is that right? Okay. And then how about this compared to reviewing a potential strategy if we decide to move forward with one of them?
I think it will come ahead of that for me, but you guys just check the economics of it, make sure it looks good first, and then I can review the contract side.
Okay. I think that sounds good just because this is like almost at the finish line, this improvement proposal, so we might as well.
Yep, I want to get it in now that we're done launching OGB.
Cool. All right, well, that's a lot about OUSD and related concerns. Let me hand it off to Linus to give an update on Story, and then we'll come back and talk about any governance proposals that are open and invite anyone to introduce themselves if they're interested. Linus?
Cool. Hey, everybody. So a couple of updates on Story today. First, on our latest product, which is gathering a lot of traction and great feedback from the market, is Collections. These are the branded marketplaces that we can power on behalf of NFT creators. So over a dozen NFT projects have either formally signed with us or verbally committed to using Origin Story for collections, Origin Story collections for their official branded marketplace. So this is really exciting. We're actually getting a lot of interest, both inbound and outbound, where we reach out to NFT creators, and a lot of folks are seeing the value prop immediately. We're basically signing up multiple partners a week, which is incredibly exciting that we've hit on something that strikes a nerve with the NFT community and is a value prop that's sorely needed. So the next step, obviously, after signing these folks is actually launching the marketplace and making sure those marketplaces succeed. So we are expecting to launch multiple marketplaces over the next few weeks. There's the engineering readiness aspect of it. We've gotten this platform down to a place where we can spin up these marketplaces very quickly for those communities. But to make the most impact, we want to line up schedules with those NFT teams to do some co-marketing so that for the highest visibility as well as the greatest possible impact. The next marketplace that we are launching is Serial Club. That launch announcement is actually going out later today, where the link will be published, and the community can go ahead and go there and use that as their official marketplace with the Twitter Spaces at 5 p.m. Pacific today, co-hosted by Origin Story as well as the Serial Club team. Now, I know I mentioned this last week, and we actually did postpone the launch from last week to today. In order to just basically line up a bigger marketing push on the Serial Club side. We think that postponing it by a week, getting our ducks in a row, and all of that would actually make for a bigger impact launch today. So if you're excited to hear more about Serial Club as a project, as well as our partnership there, I hope to see you at Twitter Spaces at 5 p.m. today, Pacific time. So that's the update on collections. You should be seeing multiple launches over the coming weeks. It's really exciting. The next thing is our primary mint drops on Origin Story. The next major partner that will be doing a primary drop with us is a project called The Sad Times. We've been working with them for quite a while, and it's a very, very exciting project. I won't do it justice by pitching it, but if you are interested, check out The Sad Times NFT on Twitter. They're really just, kickstarting their community building efforts, and we're seeing some great results of folks that are really resonating with the project and joining their community. The mint date has not been announced yet, so I will wait until the creator team is ready to announce that, but that should be coming pretty soon. So if you're excited about that, check out The Sad Times. We're excited that even in this market, there are exciting projects that are coming out that are excited to work with Origin Story for their primary mints. So that's that. The next update, just give you a high level what the engineering team is working on for this coming sprint. The first priority is native listings. So for our branded marketplace product, what we started with is aggregation of all the existing marketplaces where people can buy on their favorite marketplace like OpenSea and LooksRare. But we hope that the branded marketplace that we're putting out there becomes the favorite marketplace. So we're launching the native ability to buy and sell. This is important because it unlocks revenue generation, both for Story as well as the NFT creator. We've demoed this internally and we've tested it, and we believe we'll be in a position to launch this on Pudgy Penguins as well as all future marketplaces within 2 weeks or so. So really exciting progress there. Another priority, of course, for the engineering team is to get ready to launch more marketplaces. We've already discussed this, making sure we are ready for the partners to kind of make a great experience for their communities. And the last thing I'll highlight here is infrastructure and data improvements. We're expecting we should be reaching 50 or more marketplaces in the very near future, and we're building out an infrastructure that can scale to that and making sure that our data sources are always fresh, capturing clear and real-time notion of where the market is at with regards to listings across any marketplace, et cetera. Final update on OGN staking. We launched this a couple of weeks ago simultaneously with the OGV airdrop claim. And staking uptake is pretty impressive so far. So as of today, we've got 7.4 million OGN staked. Any OGN staked will be earning points where folks can get Ethereum rewards based on story fees. In the rewards pool today, we have 50.7 ETH in the rewards pool. Now, a number of folks have asked, why isn't this number changing? We have not set up a real-time deployment of Ethereum fees. We're not real-time streaming Origin for Story fees into the pool. We'll be actually doing this in chunks periodically over the course of the season. However, I would like to also note that we are in a bear market, as everybody knows. If you actually look across the NFT industry, volumes are down. In fact, there's reports now of looking at OpenSea volumes that this current month of OpenSea volumes may be the lowest since November of last year. So we're not really scared of bear markets. We've been through many of them before as a team here. But I did want to set expectations here that Origin Story is also currently, in terms of our current revenues, is being impacted by the bear market. A couple of the catalysts that, of course, we are excited about in terms of additional Origin Story fees are, one, these primary mints that are coming. I mentioned the sad times that the mint date should be announced pretty soon. That will generate some fees for Origin Story as well. And collections. We talked about native listings as well as scaling those marketplaces. We're not currently generating revenue from our branded marketplaces, but that will change in the next couple of weeks as we roll out native listings and as more folks discover our marketplace and use that as their preferred place. So those are the updates now. Happy to take any questions.
Amazing. Thanks for all of that, Linus. Anybody have any questions? All right. Well, if you think of any later, or if you're watching this video later on YouTube, please join us at originprotocol.com/Discord, and you can interact with Linus and everybody else from the core team there in all of our public channels. Happy to answer any questions anytime. All right. Last thing to talk about is any open governance proposals. So we have. We still have vote.originprotocol.com, which is the snapshot space that we've had now for, I think, about a year or so. And then according to a recent proposal that passed unanimously there, we also have vote.ousd.com, which is a new dedicated snapshot space for OUSD governance because, of course, it uses a different token, VEOGV in this case, which all OGV stakers receive while their tokens are locked up. So anyway, there is one governance proposal that I'm aware of on vote.ousd.com, which is our weekly strategy allocation vote. This allows everyone to direct the funds, the collateral that's held by the OUSD vault, into any of our whitelisted yield earning strategies. So if you want to have a say in how those funds are allocated, please vote. Sometime in the next 48 hours. I think the vote will open, I guess, a little over 4 hours from now. So do that. Vote early, vote often. It happens every week. And I don't believe there are any other governance proposals, but there will be more coming. And again, anyone who's a VEOGV holder is welcome to create one there, or if you're an OGN holder, you can create one on vote.originprotocol.com. Any other questions or comments on any of the topics we've covered? Anyone interested in saying hello and introducing themselves, telling us how you ended up here and what you're working on? You're always welcome to do that some other time. We'll be here at the same time, same place next week. I don't think I captured any specific action items, although there were a couple of things that I wanted to log on the new improved OGV staking experience. So I'll drop those things in GitHub. But otherwise, I'll talk to you all again in Discord sometime soon. Until then.